You see, the beauty of interpersonal relationships is rooted deeply in the concept of choice. All right? Imagine you had to force everybody around you to be friends with you, or you had to force your friends to like you, or you had to force someone to marry you. Yeah, I mean, without choice, interpersonal relationships lose value. The same goes for your relationship with the Lord. You see, one of the most brilliant things the Lord did was making human beings free moral agents. All right? Giving you the capacity and the freedom to choose and decide everything in your life from the moment you have consciousness and awareness. The freedom and the capacity, what is called agency, to decide and make your own decisions, including to choose him or to choose against him. Like, has it ever hit you that there are people in the world who don't love Jesus? More than that, there are people in the world who are actively fighting and campaigning against the God who created them to the degree that they kill his followers. Have you ever thought about that before? You see, when you think about that, it then brings into context, I beg your pardon, the story of Adam and Eve. The Bible tells us that the serpent was the most subtle of all the animals God had made, and that he went and spoke to Eve and he said, has God said you should not eat of every tree here? And we all know how that conversation went. And then Eve ended up sinning, eating the fruit, and she gave to Adam, who also ate with her. But listen, many people ask questions like, if God knew they were going to sin, why did he make a serpent? If God knew they were going to sin, why didn't he just lock away that tree of the knowledge of good and evil? If God knew they were going to sin, why did he do this and why did he do that? Listen, if you're a parent, you will be exposed to the fact that, or you've had to raise a child, maybe you're an older sibling to a much younger one. You know, when your younger sibling or your child is trying to learn how to walk, that child will fall. True or false? Most likely that child will fall and might even get an injury. May hit the head or the hand or something somewhere. You know it's going to happen, but you let it happen. That's just to say, and by the way, you know it's going to happen, but it's not your fault. And that's just to say that foreknowledge doesn't equal cause. So the fact that God knew it was going to happen doesn't mean he caused it to happen. Doesn't even mean he let it happen. Why? Because the beauty of free moral agency is that you, just like Adam and Eve, have the right to make your own choices. All right? God could have restricted them, but it wouldn't have been choice, because the beauty of the family God is building. Remember, we discussed yesterday, God made you to image him. God made you to reflect his dominion. God created you for a relationship. A relationship is not a relationship without choice. You have to choose God the same way Adam and Eve could have chosen God. Let me give you an example. Think of the man Joseph. Think of the fact that Joseph was presented with a temptation that many people would have called an opportunity. I mean, sleep with Potiphar's wife, and then you will become the chief of houseboys. Or you will remain, in his case, the chief of the servants forever. You know, and he would have been comfortable there. But take note, Joseph never said, if I do this, what will happen to my dreams? He simply said, I can't do this evil against God. That was choice. And you see, we must recognize that what powers the ability for sin to be seen is choice. God wants you to choose him, make no mistake. He gives you every opportunity to choose him, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. So when you want to address a question like what went wrong, if God made man for all of this reason, why is there so much sin in the world? Why did Adam fall in the first place? Before you go blaming the Lord, remember choice. Remember that just like Adam and Eve, you are faced every day with choices to honor God or not to honor the Lord. In the most simple of matters, to bribe that policeman or not, to speak the truth or to lie, to speak up for somebody who is being blamed wrongly or not. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the matter of choice. And let's just say this in closing. It's not God's fault that Adam fell. It's not God's fault that man fell. Man chose the path that he chose, and he bore the consequences for it. But bless God, Jesus has come, and we'll talk more about him tomorrow. Jesus has come, and has restored us in our relationship with the Father. And now you have a choice. What went wrong in the past doesn't have to go wrong every day in your life. You have a choice today to say no to those habits. You have a choice today to say no to anger. You have a choice today to say no to every fruit that comes from the flesh. Why don't you do that? This has been Dwell Discipleship Course. I trust the Lord that this has blessed you and has opened your eyes. Share this with someone who you know this will bless. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, place a comment. God bless you. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow.